Hello, and welcome back to the Various Topics Show with MattAlford. I'm your host, MattAlford, and today's episode is going to cover a very adoring topic, Senior's Day. Why does this day exist in the first place? I'll tell you. Chicken make the egg, and they are there for the male counterparts to provide tough topics whenever children are going through something in their young adolescent years. For everybody before we were even brought into this world, people have been seniors. The higher almighty is a role model to Jesus Christ. Most role models, while on earth anyway, are grandparents to their grandchildren, either full-time or just a few hours, depending on each situation. Uncles as well should be noticed depending on who they are and their positivity. So everybody turn on that football game and get some turkey meat or something and enjoy the understanding of my knowledge of this day. P.S. If you listeners out there don't have a senior, no matter what the reason is, then seek the higher power almighty above us, whether if you believe him or not, because by the end of the day, if you believe and have faith in him, he will always adore you, and he will make sure that you won't feel so alone on this special day to respect our men. Sure, why do role models exist? That can mean anything from a potentially brother watching a man to an older senior having cruel world back anyway. And being a role model is tough, challenging, and most of all exciting. But the massive difference is that by the end of the day, that role model does not need to go home with them. However, being a senior is always rough from the moment of the creation of the egg, aka the child, being created with the female bird's feathers and is being taken care of within the mama bird's stomach, as it is a responsibility for both parties that participate in the making of this beautiful form of creation. It's also the responsibility to watch, raise the growth of the egg, aka the child, once they both hatch physically, and protect from whatever enters so harmful things don't get to it, or the evil enemy from the hot ground lava. Man, that's completely unfair for the new form of living lifestyle. Reason why is very simple. Because he or she didn't even get a chance to experience this temporary cruel place we call life. As for the man, this is a special day for them, depending on who they are. Meaning they could be known as a protector, mentor, and potentially army men who puts their mind on the front lines, which is in battle. But by the end of the day, the higher almighty above us all is my rock, and intend to follow him and accomplish everything he tells me. And when I mean me, I really mean young children and all men out there who didn't have a steady senior figure growing up. But that's okay, because if you know Jesus or are learning more about him, and you show that you truly adore him through action, by the end of the day, he will be your role model if you let him in and do things following his ways. And this podcast is brought to you in part by a Bible chapter from the book of Psalms, chapter 27, verses 1 and 2. And it entails, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me, uttering slanders against me, my adversaries and foes, that they shall stumble and fall." All right, this has been a Bible verse moment, and now back to the podcast. As for seniors, we all grown up to hear stereotypically that they handle the young men and raise them right to the best of their abilities and understand when it is right to break down and when to be strong and rough. That's almost such as a girl wants to be with a guy and the guy is either scared, shocked, or surprised and not sure what to do or how to handle the situation. So that's when the role model comes into play, and that does not mean they have to be their bloodline relative, but it's just as okay according to a worldly standard anyway. However, to the higher power above us all, that's not okay. And I will tell you why it's not okay, regardless. If you are a human, animal, species, or a living plant, Reason is reproducing an egg is no joke. It takes a lot of funding, especially in today's standard anyway, such as being there with that egg, aka child's parent, for the rest of time, from that one moment, from that one move, wherever you are, doing it till that egg hatches, aka natural, beautiful birth occurs. So mostly young parents out there, grab your wallets and be prepared to work because the reality hits once it's here. Long hours, cleaning up cow mess, toilet training, etc. But it's also very outgoing because this only happens once for the fresh hatched chicken being taught by their parents, regardless if they are human, animals, plants, and if they have autism, ADHD, adoring heart, gifted, or beyond that point. Second reason is that reproduction of new forms of life costs funding, and going through trials and seasons is another part of the learning and growing process, and everybody has to work and pitch their part of the pie. That includes even toddlers, and there is no such thing as free in this cruel world we call life. And finally, the best for last is communication. It's the key to any adornment relationship, and everybody has to be on the same page, especially if you are on the team with Jesus Christ. Without trust and communication, then being a part of something would just be a dreadful experience within the eyes of being a parent slash guardian slash uncle or whatever the reason is. And this verse goes out to anybody who has been abandoned by anybody growing up. Comes from chapter John 14, verse 18. And it reads, I will not leave you desolate. I will come to you. In conclusion, being a senior is a lot of work and a lot more to it. Just as being a mother slash antler, they are both the same concept as being any parent or guardian, really. And there has to be lots of patience, no matter the nature of children growing into a mini version of yourself. As for myself, the higher Almighty above us all is my Senior, Lord, and Savior, and I trust in Him 129% because adoring Him and His Son Jesus Christ, anything is possible. Plus, this is your host, Matt, and stay tuned towards the next episode about why engagement rings and ceremonies should be a no-go and be completely abolished from existence until the very big day or not. Until next time, and adore one another, everybody. And merry, joyful, higher, almighty, above us all / Seniors Day.